When I first started leading contemplative spirituality workshops, I would always lead with this question. What do you think of when you think of the word contemplation? What do you think of when you think of the phrase contemplative spirituality? And people would always say things like silence and darkness and chanting and monks sitting in a monastery. And I just don't really think that's all there is to it. When I think of contemplative spirituality, I'm really talking about three things. The first is the experience of the divine or the sacred or God, whatever word you want to use, whatever phrase you want to use. The experience of that force being here with us right now. The divine being inside of everything around us, infused in creation, that plants and animals and humans, all of us, are right here with God in this exact moment. So the first part of contemplative spirituality is recognizing that the divine is in every moment, right here, right now. Jim Finley refers to this as the immediate intimacy of love pouring itself out in the present moment. The second part of contemplative spirituality, for me, is that if that's true, if the divine is right here, right now, then I should be able to experience the divine right here, right now. And this is what I mean by mystical, that we can have a mystical experience. Maybe it's a big mountaintop experience, maybe it's just a daily experience, but we can experience the sacred in any given moment. I know a lot of people, and me included, who maybe aren't the most comfortable in churches, but if we go out hiking, we experience the sacred. We see the trees and the way that nature relates to itself, and we go, wow, this is sacred, this is holy. That is experiencing God in the present moment. Or when we are out and about with our friends and we look around and we realize this is amazing company. How blessed am I to be with these folks? That's a God moment, recognizing God right there in that present moment. The sacredness of any common experience, any given experience. And so the third part kind of builds on those two. And it's a little bit of the question of how. So if God is right here, right now, and we can experience God in any given moment, whether it's a mountaintop moment or a valley moment, a peak experience, or just the day-to-day grind, how can we choose to lean into those experiences? How can we choose to lean into a contemplative spirituality of looking for God in the moment to moment of our lives? And so this third part, I break into a couple different words that start with S. The first one is silence. We can choose to step out of the noisiness of the day-to-day of our lives. And we take moments of calm and moments of pause, taking 5 minutes to just sit in silence. Maybe it's letting some of our thoughts go, or maybe it's noticing in the moments of silence how many thoughts we have and trying to let them pass so that we can get to know underneath the narratives that we write, underneath the thoughts that we have, who are we? Or who is God in us? Where is the sound of the genuine in me calling up into the world? The second one is solitude. And this means not just leaving the noisiness of the world, but also taking moments of physically leaving spaces that we commonly exist in. This is retreat. This is pilgrimage. Taking time to move our bodies away or out of the norm. Maybe this is going on a retreat over a weekend. Maybe this is stepping away and going to the water's edge after you get off work one day. But taking a moment to leave the day-to-day grind and go and spend some time by yourself. Spending some time outside of the status quo or just the day-to-day existence that you have. The third one is stillness. And this is related. This is also physical. But having your body actually practice stillness from time to time. Maybe this is leaving the doings of the world and just settling more into your being. What does it look like to sit and rest? What does it look like to relax? What does it look to lay down? What does it look like to experience a body practice, to do yoga, to go home after a long day of work and take an hour just to feel what your body feels, to recognize what muscle groups are doing what. These are all practices around stillness, becoming fully embodied within ourselves. And the fourth one, and this all the first three lead to this, is that contemplative spirituality is not just about the inner life, but contemplative spirituality is about engaging God right here, right now, the divine right here, right now, inside us and around us, so that we can engage the broader society, including our community, communities that are around us, communities across our country and our planet, in acts of solidarity. How does our spirituality lead us to act in solidarity with folks who are being marginalized by systems of harm? How does our spirituality lead us to act in solidarity with our planet as it is experiencing a human-made crisis? How does our spirituality call us to live into acts of solidarity with people just down the block, or the kid on the street, or the people that we see day to day? The main point of contemplative spirituality is that by understanding and becoming more engaged with God right here, right now, the divine and the sacredness of every present moment, it's not a sedative. It actually emboldens us to treat each other with more care and kindness, knowing that the sacred that is in me is also the sacred that is in you. If you want to learn more about this, here are some teachers that I think are really powerful. Most of them have podcasts. They've all written books. You can find a lot of what they write about online. Feel free to just go ahead and search. You can also go to my website, andrewglang.com, and I have a contemplative spirituality starter kit that has a few resources, some videos, some podcasts, just some recommended stuff that might help you get started. Thank you.